We are Beaver Farm.
We are Lincolnshire Port Co.
We are Fold Hill.
We are the Lincoln Distillery.
And we love local.
Lincolnshire Co-op, one of our earliest supporters when we were a very, very small business, has been very important to us. They trust us to make lovely drinks that sell, and we trust the Co-op to market our products and to listen to us when we've got new ideas. So mutual support, really.
Lincolnshire Co-op is a great place to have our products on the shelves because it gives us county-wide exposure. Lincolnshire Co-op are really supportive of their Love Local supply base, and it's something that's fantastic to be part of.
Being stocked in the Co-op is so lovely because it's everybody's local store, and to go in there and to see your brand and know that they're supporting the local suppliers and supporting those local jobs. It's just everything about what we are, and it's such a nice partnership that we have.
I was approached by the Co-op who wanted to add us to their Love Local range. It's a great achievement to be in Lincolnshire Co-op stores. We're not just a supplier, we're more or less a partner, and working together has helped us grow.
So, a very warm welcome to Centre Parcs, Sherwood Forest. We're delighted to be welcoming members from across 81 of the communities we serve, here at the venue and an online audience of over 400 members joining us from across the length and breadth of our trading area. Before we begin, we need to cover some housekeeping for both our in-room and online audience. For those at the venue, there is no planned fire drill today. So, if the alarm does sound, please make your way to the nearest exit located around the room. The assembly point is next to the bike park outside the front of the venue. For those joining us online, in the unlikely event we experience technical difficulties, please bear with us and follow any instructions provided on screen or in the chat. If the technology fails, we will revert to votes from members in the room, who will be asked to hold up their white voting cards. Now, in accordance with the Society rules, sufficient members are present in person today to carry the motions listed in the agenda. Throughout the meeting, we'll be asking you to vote on important matters. Here's a short film explaining the voting process.
We'll ask you to vote on important matters during the meeting. Voting is easy. Let's show you how. For members joining us in person at the venue, the motions will appear on your voting device screen during the meeting. The presenter of each motion will tell you when to vote. Press 1 to vote for. Press 2 to vote against. Press 3 to vote abstain. You'll receive a notification to let you know your vote has been received. To cancel your vote, press the X button. You can then change your mind by pressing another option whilst the vote is open. If you need help, please raise your hand and a member of our team will come to help you. For members joining us online, when the vote is open, the voting button will appear in the navigation bar. Choose how you'd like to vote. Your selected response will change colour and a confirmation message will appear to indicate your vote has been cast and received. There is no submit button. If you make a mistake or wish to cancel your vote, simply reselect the correct choice. You can change your mind while the vote is open. If you need help, please check the voting help document in the Documents tab. After the motion opens, a countdown timer will appear on screen. The vote will close when the timer runs out. That's it, you're all set. And remember, if you need any help voting, raise your hand and we'll come to you.
I trust that was all quite clear. Now, if you've joined the Society within the last 6 months, or you are under the age of 16 years, you will not be eligible to vote today. But as member owners, we look forward and encourage you to vote at future meetings. We'll also be hosting a Q&A session during today's meeting. So thank you to members who have taken the time to submit questions in advance. And as previously communicated, and so that we can get through as many questions as possible, we won't be taking questions from the floor today. For those joining online, please make sure to submit your questions as soon as possible if you haven't already done so. Our executive leadership team and board will be around over both lunch sittings and will be more than happy to answer any additional questions you may have. So if I may, moving to item 1 on the agenda, I am asking your approval to sign the minutes from our annual members' meeting held on Tuesday, the 12th of December at Lincolnshire Showground and broadcast online via the Lumi platform. May I sign these as a correct record? Please cast your votes now. I've got somebody with a hand up at the back and one at the front as well, please. Thank you. The results from all of today's motions will be displayed at the end of the meeting. And now I have great pleasure in handing you over to our Chief Executive Officer, Alison Hands, to give you an overview of our trading performance and strategic direction.
Thank you, David. Good morning, everyone, and it's wonderful to see so many of you here today enjoying a fantastic new venue for us, which enables us to reach new members across our trading area and gives you the opportunity, hopefully, to use some of the facilities here at Centre Parcs. Our half-year trading performance to March 2024 has been solid, with sales showing an increase of 6.4% on the same period against the previous financial year. We have traded above budget by 2.7%. This performance has primarily been driven by our strong sales in food. Continued inflation has contributed to this result, but we've also benefited from volume increases, which is extremely positive as we enter into the second half of the year. With some big sporting events coming up this summer, there is a continued opportunity for volume growth, which remains our focus. There have been challenges, however, in other parts of our business. Funerals have seen a decrease of 5.7%. With the continued trend towards low-cost, unattended funerals, combined with our operating costs being set towards the higher value-attended funerals, this decrease is a risk to our budget. But our team have carried out some detailed work reviewing the funeral proposition, which has led to price changes and a more member customer-first approach and clarity on our commercial requirements. Work will continue in the second half of the year to improve our operating model to best serve our clients' needs. Pharmacy's performance has been level, but has been challenged by NHS funding clawbacks from the government, which is impacting our profitability as we gain more share of the prescription market. However, there are opportunities to improve our income in the second half of the financial year. We're rolling out a dispensary system which centralises the majority of our prescribing, and this frees up time for pharmacists and pharmacy teams to concentrate on spending time with patients, delivering NHS pharmacy first care and new private health services, including healthy heart checks and travel vaccinations. Our post office business had an increase of 7.6%, and our travel business an increase of 16.8%, and have both performed well and ahead of budget at the half year. We've also seen some improved trading surplus performance within our travel business due to improved terms with our suppliers. Members earn dividend on purchases in travel and funeral at 1% and 5% respectively. From January 2024, purchases in those two areas were no longer eligible for dividend bonus on top of the base dividend, as we strove to manage the affordability of our overall dividend offer. To date, the removal of this doesn't appear to have impacted performance in either travel or funeral. As ever, to continue to be successful, we have to review our trading sites to ensure they fit with our strategic direction. In the past half year, we have transferred 4 pharmacies and 1 combined food store and post office to new operators, where we believe these services can be delivered more effectively for their local communities. But we are keen to grow our business too, and to continue to invest in developments which benefit our area. We've opened 2 new food stores in Carlton and Gainsborough, and have plans for more new outlets in the second half of the year and beyond. We've completed a significant piece of work with a data science company reviewing where the best locations might be. This will guide our store location plan for the next 3 years to ensure we continue to provide services to our local communities. In property, a key step forward has been the work starting at the former Barbican Hotel in Lincoln City Centre, a project we have led with the University of Lincoln and the City of Lincoln Council. Opening in January 2025, the Barbican Creative Hub will provide facilities and multi-use space for the cultural and creative industries, as well as bringing a landmark building back into use. Like many other businesses, inflation has had a significant impact on our costs this half year. A key cost is our personnel, which has increased by 3 million on the previous year. The majority of this is due to the increased national living wage, which resulted in pay increases of between 6% and 9.4% on last year for colleagues. Further increases from April onwards will clearly impact the second half. We have equally introduced, though, some new roles into the society to drive our strategy, including the focused improvement on our IT capability. As a result of this, our trading surplus at 4.7 million is 1.3 million behind last year's position, though ahead of budget by 246,000. We will continue to push forward and improve our performance as a business in the second half, but our surplus will still be reduced on previous years. As surpluses reduce, like last year, we will have to review the amount we share with members through the dividend bonus. This will help ensure we retain the appropriate funds to reinvest back into the society to continue to drive the top-line growth, enabling long-term sustained success and further investment into our purpose of making life better in our communities. This brings us to the vote for item 2. To receive the half-yearly report, can I please ask that you cast your vote on the keypad here at the venue or on screen at home now. Thank you very much. It's your support that means together we can deliver on our purpose. And now we'd like to show you a video showing the impact you've helped make.
Our purpose is to bring together ideas, energy and resources to make life better in our communities, working with our members, our partners and local groups. During the past half year, our collective impact has been felt across our area, and here are some of the highlights. Our Community Champions scheme links members with local good causes near where they live. We make a donation to Community Champions every time a member shops with their dividend card and add in colleague fundraising as well as money from collection boxes. In autumn, 45 groups supporting young people received a share of £161,428. Projects you helped included youth clubs, YMCAs and theatre clubs. We also raised £155,552 for local community groups. At the moment, we're all supporting over 200 school breakfast clubs through Community Champions. Regularly missing out on breakfast can make it harder for children to get the nutrients they need to be healthy and to learn. Breakfast clubs can help support the development of healthy eating habits, increase attendance, and provide social interaction. We're delighted to be doing our bit to sustain these valued services. Our travel team collect donations from holidaymakers for the Travels Toy Bank Appeal. This year, those donations funded 1,245 gifts for struggling families at Christmas time. Some of our colleagues helped wrap and sort presents as part of our employer-supported volunteering programme. Other schemes our teams have given their time to during the half year have included gardening, painting and creating wildlife habitats. In total, spending 604 hours giving back to the community. We want to thank our colleagues for a job well done, and each year we celebrate them with a Colleagues Awards Week. 213 colleagues were recognised with honours, including Branches of the Year and team members who have gone above and beyond for each other and their communities. Our members are the roots of our co-op, and we love getting out and about to meet them. We've been at 135 events so far this year and engaged with thousands of people across our trading area. From community cuppers to supporting our new store launches and popping up at country shows. If you see us out and about, come and say hi. We also launched our new family benefits, which means members can add under 13s to their membership so they can enjoy free fruit and birthday treats. With over 5,500 children added to accounts already, free fruit returns in July, so get ready. That's just a taste of what we have been up to with your support. Thank you for helping to make a difference.
That truly is a great reminder of our purpose in action. And to carry on delivering and investing in our purpose, it is imperative that we ensure growth and the long-term sustainability of the society. During the last 6 months, we've been focusing on the finalisation of a new business strategy for our society, Purpose Beyond Profit 2030. The strategy has been developed by listening to our colleagues, members and customers. We involved colleagues from right across the society to understand where the challenges and the opportunities are and where we need to focus our investment. We have to make good choices because just like in our personal lives, there isn't an endless or bottomless pot of money. Our new strategy clarifies our direction and our forward focus. Like all businesses, it's key we initially prioritise our foundations to ensure we have a fit-for-purpose operation. We will be spending much of our initial time and investment improving our IT, ensuring our current branches are up to date, and opening new food stores. I expect this work to take the majority of our resources over the next 2 to 3 years. This investment will drive our long-term growth. We will then start to see an upward trajectory in our trading surplus, which can then be reinvested back into our purpose. Our long-term sustainability depends on our growth plans, affordability, and being careful and considered in our decision making. I believe in our strategy clearly, and it will be regularly reviewed with the board, and it will give us the framework to do it. We will continue to update you, our members, the roots of our organisation as we progress. I want to thank you very much for listening and for the patience of many children in the audience. And I'd like now to introduce our Chief Purpose and Proposition Officer, Laura Dunn, to talk to you about our plans for membership, which is item 3 on your agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Alison, and good morning, everybody. I'm going to share some of the key findings from the member research we conducted back in March, and some actions we're planning to take from the feedback we've received. The first thing to say is we wanted to make sure the research was robust in terms of numbers, and we had a target to get over 4,700 responses. We were delighted in the end to get over 5,700 people involved. This was from a mix of on-street, in-store and online surveys. Thank you to any of you that took part. One of the key things we wanted to understand from our members was what benefits they value most currently and would like to see in the future. From the society's perspective, we must ensure that the benefits we offer are affordable, as they are a share of the profits and sustainable for us to maintain. We are aware that many loyalty schemes now offer member discounts on selected lines, and we wanted to ensure that whether our members would prefer this instead of receiving dividend on all products. The results actually showed that 57% of members prefer dividend on all products, with 43% preferring member discount on selected products. So not a huge swing in favour of dividend, but a majority all the same. Listening to this feedback, we intend to continue with offering dividend on all products. But to make this affordable for the society, the board have agreed to standardise the dividend rate to 1% across all categories and services we offer, and that's going forward from September this year. This will replace the current scheme, which offers different dividend rates across our different business areas. We will continue to offer double dividend, which is 2% on our Love Local products. We recognise that supporting the local economy through our local suppliers is an important one. And fuel will continue at 1 pence of dividend for every 5 litres that we sell. This will start in September in line with our new financial year. The next area from the research we looked at was how we could attract more of our customers to sign up to become members. The stats in this area were really interesting. 59% of customers who aren't members at the moment who shop with us strongly agree that we offer a really good membership scheme. This presents a clear opportunity to clarify the offer of membership and encourage more of our customers to become members, particularly those who are shopping with us quite regularly. The other issue is that 33% of members who occasionally collect their dividend say the reason for this is not having their dividend card with them when they shop. So in response to this feedback, we are going to trial a 1% cashback messaging to see if this helps customers better understand the benefit of becoming a member. It will still be 1% dividend, but we think that cashback may be a more widely used term and may attract more member sign-ups, so we'll see. The other key takeaway from the research is that we need to promote our membership app more, and we come on to the Q&A shortly. There's a number of questions about that. And obviously that means that members wouldn't miss out on dividend when shopping in store. We have got 29,000 members who are currently using our app, but it'd be great to see this number increase. So my ask here is if you haven't already got our app, please download it. It's free to download today. Just search Dividend Card on your app store. The other key area we explored in the research is what would make our members and customers want to shop more frequently with us. When we asked members who shop with us less than monthly, 33% said price of products was the main reason, with location of store and range of products being the other main reasons for shopping infrequently. We understand that pricing of products is something our members and customers are asking us to do more on. The board have agreed that we can look at some of our most bought everyday items to bring the cost down for everyone. We are working on this at the moment and hope to have some good news to share in the future, so watch this space on pricing. I really hope you found that interesting, and thank you again to those who participated in the research. We really do appreciate it. We'll now hear from Rob Allen, our Group Secretary and General Counsel, on item 4 of the agenda, which is our society election results. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Laura. It's my privilege as the Society's Secretary to act as Returning Officer for this year's Director elections. One of the great benefits of membership is the ability to have a say in the board that ultimately oversees the running of your Lincolnshire Co-op, and we've been delighted once again to see a really positive level of engagement in this year's elections. Let me take a moment to thank everyone who applied to stand for election to the board, and to the 7 candidates who ultimately made the ballot paper. So we received a total of 37,981 votes from 11,821 members. And as you can see on the screen now, the 4 elected candidates who received the highest number of votes are Claudia Nell, Leslie Robinson, Mike Wistow, and Ash Wilkes. Congratulations to all of you on your election to the Board of Directors. We look forward to welcoming you to the Society over the coming weeks. And if you are interested in finding out more about standing for election to our Board of Directors, please visit our website or contact the membership team for more information. We'll be donating £11,821 to our current community champions. That's equal to £1 for every member who voted in our Society election. We now move on to item 5 on the agenda, a special resolution requesting approval of changes to the Society's published rulebook. So in the run-up to today, we have made available a selection of materials on the Society's external website explaining what the rulebook is, why we're proposing the changes, and how to submit any questions. And I'll briefly now summarise some of the key points again before we formally put this resolution to a vote. So the Society's rulebook is required by legislation governing cooperative societies and is the foundation of all Lincolnshire Co-op's governance practices. It covers a wide range of matters, including the responsibility of the board and executive leadership team, the rights of you as members, how board and member meetings are convened, how decisions are taken, and the requirements for the election and appointment of directors, and also how the Society's profits are applied. It's best practice to keep the Society's core governance practices and documents under review to ensure they comply with law, but also to ensure they remain relevant to the Society's strategic objectives. At the end of 2023, the board commissioned an externally facilitated Board Effectiveness Review, or BER for short, a practice that is recommended every 3 years under the Cooperative Corporate Governance Code, which we're subject to. The BER examined board roles and responsibilities, board composition and tenure, procedures and documentation, stakeholder engagement, and skills, competency and training. And the BER generated a range of recommendations which have been factored into the changes we are ultimately proposing to the Society rulebook today. These changes include the following: clarification of the Society's political support provisions to ensure the Society is able to support causes or initiatives that further its purpose and values. The explicit ability for the board to approve matters in writing outside of scheduled board meetings to help improve the efficiency and the effectiveness of our governance. Enhanced director conduct and suspension provisions following best practice recommendations from Cooperatives UK. And the ability to appoint a 4th director to the board alongside the 9 elected positions that we have, providing greater access to skills and expertise that the board may need to discharge its responsibilities. We are keen to stress that the changes proposed today in no way adversely affect the basic cooperative principles and values that underpin Lincolnshire Co-op or your rights as members. These changes are designed to introduce improvements in general governance and ensure our society remains sustainable in the long term. The rule changes proposed have also been reviewed by the Society's Search and Governance Committee and approved by the Board of Directors. They've also been reviewed by the governance team at Cooperatives UK, which is the national body for the UK's independent cooperative sector, and also external lawyers. Finally, this resolution is what we call a special resolution, meaning it requires a higher majority of 2/3 of votes from those present and entitled to vote today in order to pass. I hope that's helpful background, and I'm grateful to those members who have taken the time to consider the materials in advance. Members were invited to submit questions on this matter in advance of today's meeting. However, I can confirm that no questions have been received. I would now like to invite you to vote on this resolution by using your keypads at the venue or on screen at home now. Thank you. Thank you very much. And for item 6, I would now like to welcome to the stage Jane Moat, Chair of the Society's Remuneration Committee.
Thank you, Rob, and good morning, everyone. Item 6 on the agenda is an ordinary resolution requesting approval of the changes to director remuneration. The board must ensure that society's approach to remuneration is fair, transparent, and aligned with cooperative values and principles. The Cooperative Corporate Governance Code recommends that director pay should be regularly reviewed and at least every 3 years. The last time that members considered director fees in totality was at the Society's half-yearly members' meeting held on the 3rd of June 2021. Remuneration policies and practices should recognise the commitment expected of directors and be aligned to the purpose and values of the Society and successful delivery of its strategy. Appropriate remuneration is also important in not only driving selection and appointment, but also retaining skills and experience in key positions. To ensure that this year's review was undertaken objectively and in full compliance with the relevant corporate governance requirements, the Society's Remuneration Committee retained Ernst & Young, or EY, a specialist external advisory firm with significant experience in reviewing non-executive pay. EY produced a series of recommendations that were ultimately approved by the Remuneration Committee and the main Society board. EY determined that cooperatives represented the best sector comparator and that there was no objective reason to move outside the associated range of pay into different sectors or use other external benchmarks. I will now briefly summarise the specific changes we are asking you to approve today. The board chair fee is proposed to increase from £15,560.80 to £25,000 per annum to recognise the responsibilities expected of the chair in running the board and the new requirement of this role to additionally chair the Society's Search and Governance Committee. It is proposed that the committee chair fees for both the Audit and Risk and Remuneration Committees should be increased to recognise the additional skills and experience required in order to run these committees effectively, and also align them to the median paid by other societies. These are currently set at £120.51 per annum for each committee, and if approved, will increase to £2,500 per annum for the chair of the Audit and Risk Committee and £1,500 per annum for the chair of the Remuneration Committee. The fee for being a board committee member more generally will be increased to a figure more in line with the median paid by other societies. This also reflects the additional activity and time commitment that the Society's committees will be expected to absorb under the revised governance structure and remit recommended by the Board Effectiveness Review completed at the end of last year. The proposed increase creates a consistent fee of £750 per annum for membership and participation in each of the Society's board committees. The base director and president fees are presently odd amounts, and as part of the revised proposal have been rounded by a small amount to produce a clean schedule of new fees. The Remuneration Committee is satisfied that this outcome meets the strict corporate governance requirements I outlined at the start of this item and ensures that the Society can maintain a strong and effective board in the long term. I would now invite members to vote on this resolution by using your keypads at the venue or on screen at home now. Thank you. As a reminder, the results of the voting motions will be displayed at the end of the meeting. Now I'd like to welcome Laura back to the stage to host today's question and answer session.
Thank you, Jane. Right, now for the Q&A session, always the highlight, I always think. So we've had a number of questions submitted on postcards from people in the room, and also we've got over 300 people online today, so we've had some questions online as well. So I will work through the themes and the questions and invite people on stage to answer. So number one, this is a pre-submitted question. Lincolnshire Co-op has demonstrated a commitment to providing vegan and plant-based options, including our Cook with Co-op events. Given the numerous reports concluding that plant-based eating has a significant effect on the health of the environment, will Lincolnshire Co-op enhance its promotion of plant-based options? And will Lincolnshire Co-op consider championing UK companies which sell British plant-based products? I'd like to invite Steve Leach, our Chief Operating Officer, onto the stage to answer this one.
Thanks, Laura, and good morning, everybody. I'm delighted to be here to answer the question. Of course, we'll consider our range of products from a plant-based point of view. We work very closely with the Co-op group from a range and planogram perspective, and happy to take this away to try and see what more we can do in this space. So, yes is the short answer. Thank you.
Just wait there, we have the next question for you. Can you explain how you are supporting Lincolnshire farmers and sourcing locally grown produce?
So as many of you will know, we just completed in May a Love Local fortnight where we had some excellent presentations in store of all of the local suppliers. And it's a really important commitment that we will continue to demonstrate and do more with. We've got a trading arm that reports into me with a local buyer who's tasked with making sure that we source as much as we can do locally, and we're looking to streamline that process to make it easier for local suppliers to get their range on store. So strategically, it's a big opportunity for us going forward and one that is high on my agenda. Thank you.
One more, Steve, before you escape down the stairs. Hold fire. What is the reason for selling foreign sugar in food stores, i.e. Tate and Lyle? One of the main crops in Lincolnshire is sugar beet.
So it's a great question, and I had to be on my toes to do some research here in terms of one of the things I hadn't realised is Silver Spoon, which is also a recognised brand, has a factory which is produced in Bury St Edmunds but sourced in Newark. So actually we are trying to get the right balance, but we do work very closely with the Co-op group, which provides the majority of our ranges in store. But again, the local buyer will be working with us going forward to try and make sure we get that balance right. But happy to be flexible and make sure that we try and recognise what you as our customers want us to be ranging in our stores. Thank you.
You can go now. Next question is, following the increase in disabilities after COVID, is the Society changing its level of support for people with disabilities, both in the workplace and the community? I'd like to ask Heather Lee, our Chief People Officer, onto the stage to answer that one.
Hi, well thanks, great question, and good to be able to talk about the journey we've all been on since COVID. So I think we recognise that particularly during COVID, a lot of people were covered by shielding, so a lot more people shared their disabilities or underlying health conditions than ever had before, and that's very true for us in our workplace. So our number of colleagues who shared with us their underlying health conditions and their disabilities rose considerably, and we've done everything we can to support them. We have a defined occupational health provider, BUPA, but we've also worked with the Business Disability Forum to understand both what we can do for both our colleagues, but also for our customers in our trading environments. We employ our own ED&I advisor to support the business in how it deals with all its stakeholders to ensure our approach is robust and relevant and meets their needs. We are a Disability Confident Employer Leading, which is recognition we've received from the DWP. And one of the most recent projects we've been working on is on the accessibility of our website. And hopefully if you've had a look at that, you can see the impact that journey is making in terms of accessibility. I hope that covers the areas that you're exploring, but I think Laura has another question for me.
Yes, you are right, Heather. One more question for you. Based on the report, you state wage rises are of between 6 and 9.4% are the reason for the 10% increase in personnel costs, mostly due to the increase in minimum wage. Can you please outline the percentage increase to these on minimum wage versus the C-suite and the directors, please?
Thank you. So yes, for most of our colleagues, our annual review date is April each year, and for a small number, it's September. So we're talking about the half year here from September 23 to March 24. In that period, obviously, yes, we had the national living wage increase. We pay above the national living wage, so all of our rates and allowances increase to reflect that. Personnel costs isn't a like-for-like figure, so who worked here 12 months ago and who works here now isn't necessarily the same individuals or the same roles, so that's why you'll see that mix of increase in personnel costs. We talk particularly about the C-suite in the question there, and that's where we talk about the executive leadership team. So C-suite is a bit of remuneration jargon, which basically means most job titles that start with a C. It's nothing special. So Chief Executive Officer would be one of those, for example. Chief People Officer, Chief Purpose and Proposition Officer. So C-suite just means roles that start with the word chief. And directors, well, we've heard today about our work on directors' pay and the journey the Society is going on there. In terms of the C-suite, the executive leadership team, details of their remuneration is included in the annual report, which is published at the end of each calendar year, reflecting the end of our financial year, which is September. And in there is also included updates on the director's remuneration, and today we have approved changes to that as part of the voting we've taken part in today. So I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
Thanks, Heather. We've then got a few questions coming around membership, so I'll answer those. First question, can you add the dividend card to the Apple Wallet on your phone? And a similar question, why don't you have money off offers on the app like the National Co-op do, for example, 40p off fruit, 20p off bakery? We are very, very keen to update our membership app. Everyone in the team will attest to that. It's been on the list for a while. We are, as part of the strategy, developing an IT roadmap. There are lots of things that need developing in terms of the Society's infrastructure, and the membership technology is part of that, both behind the scenes and the app that the members use on the website. So we are really, really keen to develop it. We are aware that we'd like to get the app so you can use it through the Apple Wallet. There's lots of functionality we'd like to add, similar to other apps and unique to Co-op as well. So watch this space. We are really, really keen to do it. It's just got to be in the right order with the other technology updates that we need to focus on. Another question around membership is how many members are there currently registered with Lincolnshire Co-op? The answer is around 292,000 members, and we've also got a good number of children added to accounts, and obviously a number of those are here today. So always growing. We have a number of closures every year for people who don't use their account during a 3-year period. But we also have a similar number that tend to join us each year. So that number is slowly growing, but tends to remain reasonably around that figure. Next question, we've had lots of questions around this event. Obviously, it was really, really popular once we put it on to be booked for Centre Parcs. We've had a number of people who've said, brilliant, you've done it at Centre Parcs, we're so happy. A number of you are here today. Lots of people were disappointed that they couldn't get a ticket because obviously they did go quite quickly. And a number of people have thanked us to say, great that we can join online, but we'd have loved to have come to Centre Parcs. So all I'd say there's a number of questions on this. Please give us your feedback on the event, good, bad, anything you want to feed in, because we do review all of your survey feedback afterwards, and then there's a membership board committee that will decide on the event schedules in the future. So please let us know. Like I say, any feedback feeds into that process and helps us decide what to do. In terms of member events in general, we have to balance. It's obviously, you know, it costs to put these events on. It is really important for our co-op that we have these members' meetings, but it is a significant cost to put it on. So we have to balance that with how much dividend we can give out and other benefits as well. So as Alison alluded to, there isn't an endless pot of money. We have to be really careful. So the board committee decides on how we distribute that member reward, both through dividend, other offers and promotions throughout the year, and the events that we can put on. We're really aware that our trading area is growing. A number of people have said, this is brilliant, you've put it on at this part of your trading area, we can access this really easily. A number of other people have said, this is really difficult for us to get to. It's really hard to satisfy everybody, but feed in, and we take all of that on board. Next question is around our strategy. Following the strategy, where do you see the future of all of the areas, i.e. food stores, funeral homes, crematorium, in terms of are we closing, opening more? And I'd like to ask Alison, our Chief Executive Officer, to come up and answer that one.
Thanks, Laura. Thank you. So our business strategy is very much about driving growth, as I said earlier, for the Lincolnshire Cooperative Society. And we will, following the work that we've been doing with the Location Data Science Company, we'll be continuing to look for further opportunities. Now, they are starting with our food business, but equally we'll be looking at it from a pharmacy perspective, a funeral perspective, etc. So all of those areas, we're not talking about we're going to be shutting down areas. So I just want people to be very clear about that. It's just we're starting with our food business. However, we always have to review individual sites. We have to look about its profitability and whether it is truly fit for purpose. And I want us to be clear that the strategy, though, is a growth one. So those things will happen, but it will be in the majority that will be opening across those areas. So hopefully that answers the question. And if anyone wants to come and talk to me about that, I'm really happy to do that during the lunch.
Thanks, Alison. This is a linked question for you. Why have you targeted closing Grimsby branches particularly, with Nunsthorpe and Cambridge Road branches closing? They're both in the same walking distance, so do not think it is fair in members in Grimsby. Could you please answer that one?
Yeah, so thank you very much for the question. I think, look, we have to look at things on an individual basis in some of those areas, and some of those stores, unfortunately, we were really struggling to turn a profit, and that is why we passed those over to a different company to basically take those on and start to deliver those services for those local communities. But I want to be really clear, we are not abandoning that area. We have 2 new stores opening before the end of the year. In fact, one later this month in the Grimsby area, so in that northeast Lincolnshire. So Laceby will be opening, and we have Scartho as well. So that we are continuing to look at that area and see where there are further opportunities. So I don't want anyone to think that we're coming away from that area.
Thanks, Alison. And that concludes all of our questions for today. Thank you so much for everyone that has posed one. We'll be posting detailed responses on our website of all the questions we've received over the coming days. And obviously, for those in the venue, we are around at the directors area at the front. Please come and grab us for any questions you've got or any further clarification you need. I'll hand you back to David, our chair, to carry on with the voting. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. So the voting results are displayed on the screen now. Just loading. Here we go. And I'm pleased to say and can confirm that all motions have been carried. And thank you for voting. Now, just before I close the meeting, I would like to take a moment to recognise my fellow board member, Julia Romney. Julia, do stand up. Do stand up. Might have to have a twirl, I don't know. Now, Julia, she's stepping down from the board of directors, having served the maximum term. Julia first joined the board in May 2001. She was very young, serving 23 years and was your president for 3 terms. On behalf of the board of directors, executive leadership team and colleagues from across our trading area, I'd like to thank you for your service and wish you the very best in your retirement. As a token of our appreciation, we'd love to present you with a hamper packed with delicious treats from our Love Local range. I have to say, it's a bit heavy. So we will present this to you after the meeting and take some photographs. Once again, thank you for your service and commitment. And following our election result, I'd like to personally congratulate our new and returning directors on their election success. Today's result also means that we are saying goodbye to Steve Hughes and James Scott. Steve has served as a director for 16 years and has been your president for 2 terms. James was elected to the board some 3 years ago. Now, both have made significant contributions in the boardroom. And we also have Love Local hampers for each of you, and we'll present these shortly for the same reason, rather heavy. So once again, to be serious, on behalf of the board, executive leadership team and colleagues, thank you to you both for your dedication, commitment and service to the society. It's greatly appreciated. And that brings our formal meeting to a close. Now, it just remains for me to thank everyone that has been involved for all their hard work in making today a success. Thanks also to our membership team for organising our half-yearly meeting at this, I think, quite spectacular venue. The team at Lumi for facilitating today's voting and online broadcast, and the Centre Parcs team for their fantastic hospitality. Lunch is actually really good, you'll see. For those of you here at the venue, please make sure to hand your voting device back to a colleague. And if you're wearing a blue lanyard, lunch will be served in a few moments from Huck's restaurant next door. For those with a green lanyard, lunch will be served from 1 p.m. So why not enjoy a walk around the lake in the meantime? I think it has stopped raining. Or come and see us at the Meet the Board area, where we'll be throughout both lunch sittings. Don't forget to give us your feedback on today's event for the chance to win £50 dividend to spend in store. Look out for the email from us later today with more information. For those members signed online, we'll be adding £5 to your dividend card, which will be available from Tuesday the 11th of June, and we hope you enjoy spending it. So thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and a safe journey home. Thank you all very much. Thank you.